in survival. What we're going to be doing is we will be testing 2 products from Harbor Freight Tools, which is a wonderful place to get any products you need, especially a few different survival gadgets. What we have first of all is we have a survival knife, which does have a compartment to keep stuff dry. And then we actually have a full-length 18-inch machete that we will be testing. The survival knife, it has your regular knife blade, and then it also has, on the reverse, it has a small saw blade that you could use to cut smaller tree limbs if you needed to for firewood or kindling. You would have a way to do so. So, with that said, what we'll do is we'll just put it back in the sheath, and then we will open up the end, which just screws out, just a simple screw out lid. And in the cap, there is actually a compass, one of the ones that's submerged in the liquid. And what that's going to do is, let's say you need to figure out which way it is to go north. There is a little compass in there. Not sure on the accuracy. It seems like it's pretty accurate. If you spin it all the way around, it always goes back to pointing north. In the handle, there is actually, I can get it out of here, there is actually a little baggie that has some survival essentials, which one good thing about it being in a baggie, it'll stay dry a whole lot better. You have your sewing kit, a few different buttons and odds and ends. Inside there's a piece of striking paper for the match. It just seems like your regular matches. They do fairly good of burning.
Ooh, burns quick.
As far as that goes, the matches seem like they work fairly good. We'll put this back in here and get this closed up, and then we'll go on to the machete. First impression, it seems like it's actually a really good product. One thing about it coming in a separate baggie, you actually have a place to store it, and if you didn't like the stuff that came in it, you can easily swap it out for matches or anything else of your choosing. And there is a rubber seal on the lid, so that way once it's screwed all the way down, it is supposed to be waterproof. So that will keep stuff dry. On the machete, we have, your basic regular sharpened side that you use to cut any kind of small tree limbs, bushes, any of your vines or anything that gets in your way, used to make rope. On the reverse side, you have a saw blade that actually seems fairly sharp, that you would be able to cut down any sort of small, not anything large obviously, but anything smaller, like if you need to chop some sticks for firewood, you would be able to use this saw blade. First impression, it does seem like it works really good. I have used it before, so this is not the first time I'm using it, and we will test it out later on in the video. For the test, first off, we're going to test the survival knife to see if it's actually capable of cutting anything that you would need to cut in a survival situation. Obviously, you're going to use it to cut any sort of firewood, or if you need to make some kindling. Let's just open it up, and what we'll do is have a piece of a tree limb that had actually failed. So first off, we're going to test the knife side. It actually appears to be fairly sharpened. Obviously, it's not as sharp as your more expensive knives. Now for the saw. Okay, and for the saw, just as I assumed, the blade is is going to be way too thick to actually cut anything easy.
As you can see, just from that little bit, it just
Done a little indentation.
I'm sure it could be used to cut any of your
Smaller tree limbs, but as for anything that's got any thickness to it, you're really going to have a hard time. And that's pretty much all I can say for this one. What I do have is a bucket of water, and we are going to test just to make sure
that this does stay dry. What we're going to do is I'll just have a bucket of water
right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fully submerge the knife and see if there's any bubbles, or if there is bubbles, see if they're actually coming from the end where you're
supposed to keep everything dry.
So as you can see, it's completely submerged in the water. I actually did not see any bubbles, which is actually a good sign. Let's pull it out and just check to see.
Obviously there is water that was
standing in it.
Just going to dry it off real quick with
the sleeve of my shirt.
Okay, and now
to see if the insides actually got wet. And from first look, it actually appears
that everything internal
did stay dry. One thing I will say that does help is even if water did get in here, everything
survival-wise
is inside of a plastic bag. So that definitely will help if, let's say, you're crossing the river and your knife was to fall out. So that is a good note. So let's slide this back in here. So as far as the knife goes, just for simple survival purposes, like if you need to cut road, or obviously if you need to shave a little off a tree to, make a little kindling, you would be able to do that.
As far as
one thing that I did notice, it actually has an Allen wrench right here. What that could be used for is, let's say you're stuck for a while and you need to make an actual spear out of it. You can just take this screw out and this whole blade slides out. So what you can do with that is you can actually use it as any sort of spear, obviously to hunt fish, small animals, just something to sustain yourself until rescue. Now that's all for that one. Now on to the machete. The machete is actually one that I have used. They are both from Harbor Freight Tools, which is a fairly reasonable place to get any of your
obviously
tools. They do have some survival gear. And the survival knife was $10, and this was actually just $5. So obviously it's not going to be up to the standards of your Gerber, your higher end brands. Let's test it out. As for the machete part, as you can see, and obviously you're not going to be chopping anything like this with it, but it is something good to have if, let's say, you need to cut a vine to make rope, or if you need to
actually
defend yourself, you do have something a little bit longer than an actual knife. As far as that goes, the saw blade, let's test it out and see if it works.
It does get stuck.
once you get far enough in. So you will have to rotate the wood, make it a little easier to cut. And there we go, which that one was about half dead anyway. So it was a little bit easier to cut.
But
This could be used to cut up some small sawwood, wood for your fire. Especially if you have a small limb, you just need to cut in half real quick. And there we go. That's really it. In my opinion, two really good products that you could get both for less than $20. Which these are essential for any survival situation. You definitely don't want to go out in the wild empty-handed. So I definitely would recommend picking these up. Like I said, you can pick them up at Harbor Freight, but a lot of your big package stores will have the exact same product for around the same price range, and a lot of times they are identical. So what we're going to do is that's it for this video, and I hope you like and subscribe. Thank you very much.